Did the judges get it wrong between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev? And what's next for Justin Gaethje in the lightweight division? Before I break down the fallout of UFC 313, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. UFC 313 is in the books and we had a cracking core and main event. We saw Justin Gaethje bounce back in spectacular fashion and Magomed Ankalaev put on a dominant performance against Alex Pereira. So let's start with the main event. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. This was a tough night for the champion. Pereira just didn't look good under pressure. Ankalaev was relentless, always moving forward, forcing Pereira onto the back foot. Pereira tried to rely on his leg kicks, which were effective early, but Ankalaev just wasn't slowing down. Round 1 was Pereira's best. His calf kicks had Ankalaev switching stances and looking uncomfortable, but in round 2 Ankalaev started taking over, landing some big shots and hurting Pereira late in the round. Round 3 was close, but Pereira's activity was really slow from the start, but he ended it well and I thought he came out just on top. Round 4 was all Ankalaev. He controlled Pereira against the cage using knees and uppercuts, and Alex just had no answer for it at all. By round 5, Pereira needed something big, and while he landed some decent head kicks, Ankalaev just kept pressing forward and managed to hold Ankalaev up against the fence to finish out the fight. There were a lot of fans questioning these scorecards and even asking if it was a robbery. Sal D'Amato had it 49-46 for Ankalaev, which I think is a little bit too far. Personally, I had Pereira winning rounds 1 and round 3 and Ankalaev taking 2 and 4, and round 5 was razor close. This fight could have gone either way, but I will say Ankalaev has 2 very clear rounds and nearly every other round was pretty close, so it's not a big surprise that Ankalaev won. I think those calling it a robbery are just upset Alex fans who can't cope with this decision. Magomed looked fantastic on the feet and ultimately Alex did not do enough to win this fight. He didn't apply enough pressure, he seemed hesitant to tee off, and I think that's because of the takedown threat, but it was clear that Alex didn't need to worry about that. There was a lot of questions coming into this fight if Alex could wrestle. He stopped all 11 takedowns from Ankalaev. It will be interesting to see how this fight plays out if we ever get the rematch. But does Alex really deserve one? Pereira has had 4 successful title defenses, all ending in knockouts, so he probably should get the rematch, but there was a lot of talk leading up to this fight about Pereira supposedly ducking Ankalaev, and maybe Ankalaev wants to return the favour and make it tricky for Alex to get the rematch. Instead, he might look to fight Jiri Prochazka, who just knocked out Jamal Hill in dominant fashion. But if Alex doesn't get the rematch, who is there for Alex to fight? He's beaten all of the contenders in this division, and let's not forget he's fought 4 times already in 12 months, so he might want to take a break. But I will say I bet John Jones is fuming now that Alex Pereira has lost. He has no choice but to fight Tom Aspinall or take his ball and get gone. Now let's move on to the co-main event. Justin Gaethje looked fantastic, especially coming after that brutal knockout loss to Max Holloway. A lot of people questioned how he'd return, but he showed up big time, proving again that he's one of the most dangerous lightweights on the planet. Round 1 we saw some solid wrestling from Fiziev early, getting 2 takedowns, and Fiziev used some big knees and great clinch work. Round 2 started with a slight pause with a low blow, but Gaethje quickly took control. He dropped Fiziev with a massive uppercut and had him hanging in there for dear life. In round 3, Fiziev came in strong with some brutal body kicks, but Gaethje's pressure and boxing took over. That head kick and dirty boxing in the clinch sealed the deal for him for a very well-earned victory for Justin Gaethje. Now the big question is, who does Justin Gaethje fight next? The lightweight division has a lot of moving cogs right now. Arman Tsarukyan should probably be fighting Islam Makhachev, but the UFC seemingly want to punish him for pulling out of the fight and want him to fight another contender. We also have the former featherweight champion Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight and chomping at the bit for the title shot. And then of course there's Charles Oliveira, who's just beaten Michael Chandler and could easily be up next for a title shot. There is just so many moving parts in this division, but I suspect a #1 contenders fight with Arman Tsarukyan next. But Justin Gaethje is a fresh opponent for Islam, and both of these guys might push for that fight, and I don't think anyone will be too angry seeing Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev. But who do you think Justin should fight next? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.